What's up, Roxstars? It's an Insecure review. This is the review for Insecure Season 2, the finale, you guys. Hella perspective. I ain't seen y'all in the month of Sundays, it feel like. Y'all, for those of you guys who don't follow me on social media, on Instagram or Twitter. Yeah, Hurricane Irma, I guess she blew through Atlanta, and while we didn't get any damage, and really it was it was windy and it did rain pretty heavily for about 3 hours, but no damage at all. Not in my neighborhood, not in my area. Definitely some downed trees, and because of those downed trees, my power was knocked out, and we didn't have power for pretty much 2 days, and I couldn't get online. I couldn't use my cell phone. I couldn't really do anything. So that is why the video is pushed back. We finally got fed up enough yesterday and decided to go get a damn generator. So we was up and running, and then the power did finally come back on yesterday evening. So, it's all good. So glad that we got that generator, though, because we've been stuck. For those of you guys who have been watching me for some time, y'all know we got snowed in, iced in, no power. Bitch almost froze to death. It's just something about not having power, and my house is all electric. So we don't have any power. We can't cook. We can't take baths because we don't have hot water. No way to heat up the water. I mean, I guess you could take a cold bath, but really I'm not doing a cold bath, not doing a cold shower. Nigga just funky. So, all of that was going down, and finally yesterday when everything came back up, I felt like the good Lord Jesus had to shine down his light on us. Yeah. It's pitiful how we can't, we cannot live our lives without even, these luxuries, obviously, on a day-to-day basis. But anyway, that's enough of that. We were fine, and just the inconvenience of not having any power. But you know what, bitch, is clean now. I smell good now, y'all. And in all seriousness, I'm hoping that all of my rock stars out there who were affected by Hurricane Irma, whether it is down in the Caribbean, down in Florida, even here in Georgia, they had some damage in South Carolina. It's just been so much happening, and I am praying that you guys are all safe and with minimal to no damage. Okay, Rocky love y'all. But anyway, the review, let's get to it, shall we? All right, so the show has been hitting us subtly all season that gentrification is real in them Los Angeles streets, and it is for sure happening. Every time I go to Los Angeles, I visit, there are more and more white people. When I left in 2004, it was kind of being taken over by the Latinas, and the Latinos, it was like Mexicans everywhere. But now the white folks have figured out that, damn it, why do they need to live way, way out far when they work downtown or they work in the city? You know what? Just move in the area. So like over in the Dons, over in Angeles Vista area, especially over there are a lot of white folks. And as a matter of fact, my dad's next door neighbor is white. So, I mean, we had one white family on our block. They were living there from when my parents moved there in 1960. Okay, so they've been there forever. That was our one white family. They was really just kind of like black people but looked white. But yeah, just recently he had a white family move in next door to him, and he thought it was a terrorist sale. No, I shouldn't say it. I know I shouldn't even say that, but I was like, Dad, why they got to be terrorists just because he don't understand why they moved right next door. But then it turned out that they was nice, and he said, there ain't been no problem. So you gotta love old people. Anyway, Issa is leaving her apartment that they swear is in Inglewood, but it's really in the jungle. Now, they broke the show up into 3 parts, and it made it so much easier for me to review. I was like, that's sort of like how I do my reviews. I be trying to put everything together. Oh, Issa, y'all been watching me. I'm just kidding, y'all. Anyway, broke it down. First up was Lawrence. Okay, Lawrence is running a marathon with his girl Aparna. It's all very cute. While he's running, though, he sees Issa and Miley in the crowd cheering everybody along. Miley and Issa aren't looking, though. They're looking down at their phone, so they don't see him. However, he sees them, and, it kind of bothers him. Now, let's discuss the issue of Lawrence dating the office floozy. I'm not saying that Aparna is actually the office floozy. What I will say is that Aparna is definitely the casual dater, the casual sleeper arounder. And we knew from the beginning of the season that she had recently slept with one of their co-workers, the one that she had been called he was a dud in bed, and he don't really have the best personality. I mean, she kind of wrote him off as just like, that was just something that I did. Don't know why Lawrence didn't take that into consideration. Aparna has kind of been around the office a little bit. And that's fine. Okay, the girl is single. She's living her life. She's dating and whatever. But do you want to be added to that list once you guys don't necessarily work out? These are things that you must think of when you are talking about dating, dating, meaning having sex with somebody that you work with. That's not really Lawrence's thing, okay? And she's still good friends with the Colin boy. We find that out when we see Aparna and Lawrence at a Mexican restaurant having dinner. He has a problem with it. She thinks he's funny, and she can still laugh and talk and joke with him, but Lawrence does not really like that, okay? She was just like, "Aw, are you jealous?" And he kind of is in that whole, well, if you like it, I love it thing, but yeah, he has a problem with it. While they're there, he sees Miley walk in with Quentin. We'll talk about them in a little bit. And again, it bothers him. Lets you know again he's not done with Issa. Now, when he runs to tell his boys about Aparna, okay, they're putting up the surround sound in his new home, and he tells them how, he's got to work with her ex. And of course the boys is like, oh, hell no. Okay, you need to check that. Derek even said that Tiffany kind of had like a work husband and was a little too close to this nigga named Fred. But he had to have a talk with Fred, and now Fred don't work there anymore. Back up. Did you guys hear that he said that Tiffany was over at Issa's watching this show Due North, which was fucking hilarious if you watched afterwards all of the little clips that they had of the Due North show. I was like, genius, okay? I hate slavery. That show, they really could make a damn satire show out of it. If you guys did not watch Due North, go on to HBO and watch little clips that they had of the show. But anyway, Derek did mention that Tiffany was over at Issa's house, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But the general consensus is that Lawrence needs to handle that, okay? Colin and Aparna cannot be friends at the workplace, except that Aparna, she looks like she's a strong enough woman. She's really not going to do well with you trying to tell her who she can see, or trying to talk to her ex about the fact that they're talking and laughing at work. I mean, really, you act like they kissing at work. You're not doing nothing but talking. So one night when they're out in the car, she's laughing at her phone, not really paying attention to Lawrence, and he was like, "Oh, is Colin that funny?" And she was just like, no. First of all, I'm not talking to Colin. I'm talking to my sister. My sister sent a picture of my niece. Had a plate on her head. Called it a hat. The shit was funny. And of course, Lawrence still doesn't even say, "Oh, sorry. I got that fucked up." He's just still like, you be talking to Colin like he's all funny and everything. And she was just like, don't try to make this about me. That's your shit, your baggage, okay? As a matter of fact, the phone rings while they're having their discussion, and it's Issa, okay? She's like, oh, there's your pile of shit right now. I pulled this fucking car over. She gets out, and she leaves. Lawrence just looks at his phone like... Next scene, we see Lawrence walking up to their apartment. I said, uh-oh, what is this? Now rewind the episode and let's see it from Molly's perspective. Molly is at the marathon with Issa. She's telling Issa how Quentin is coming to town next week, and she's got to figure out what restaurant, that she's going to take him to. But, she got to keep it real casual, nothing too serious. Issa's like, oh, show me the picture. When they're looking down at their phone, that is the time that we see that Lawrence actually runs by and notices them. That's why they don't see him. So she's just like, oh, you got a beard, okay. We see Derek and Tiffany join them, and then they get a call from Kelly. She's already at the finish line. It was like, damn, did we miss her already? Okay, next scene, we see Miley. She is killing a job interview with what we assume to be a black law firm. Okay, they loved her on paper, but they are ecstatic with her in person. Even the fact that she grew up in the hood, right around where they grew up, and she was just like, yeah, right there on Crenshaw and Florence. And they were like, well, damn, is the McDonald's still there? And I was like, it sure is. As a matter of fact, I have a real quick story for you guys. It ain't really a story, but I can just tell you about Florence and Crenshaw was always a problematic corner. One time my mom and me were in the drive-thru at that McDonald's, And for many of you guys who are from that area and know that McDonald's used to have a really small alley in between. There was a house, and then there was an alley, and then there was a drive-through right here. And shit used to always happen in that alley. Not never quite sure why it would be, but it was just, it attracted a lot of people. And when you would go through the drive-through, it would always be niggas and shit and cars and all, you know, just kind of hanging out in that alley. Well, one night, my mom and I was coming home from Fox Hills Mall, and she stopped at the McDonald's there, and we were in the drive-thru, which we really hated going there, but it was just like she didn't feel like driving all the way down because they didn't have the McDonald's on 43rd at the time. You had to drive all the way down almost close to Adams. So she wasn't really trying to do that, so we stopped there. We was in that damn drive-thru lane, and it was super crowded. And you know, once you get into the drive-thru, you can't get out because it's the curbs on each side of it. So we were just sitting there in the car, and all of a sudden these guys start shooting in the fucking alley. My mom was like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. She was trying to back up. The people wouldn't back up behind us because I guess this shit was like happening every day, and the people in front of us would not move. So my mama drove over. Nigga, it was a curb. Now just imagine this is a damn Cadillac Eldorado, like a 1984. My mama drove over the damn little the damn curb with the shrubbery and shit. Baby, Miss Ruby was not fixing to get shot that day. Honey, we done drove over there. We was worried that she was fucked the car up and everything, but she didn't. She scratched the tires. My dad might have been upset about that, but yeah, it was just like, nigga, we was fixing to get killed. And nobody else seemed to think that it was a big enough problem to back the fuck up and let us out of there. Child, scary as hell. That's my little story time. Let me get back to the damn video. Later on, we see her on her date with Quentin, okay? Was that Il Cholos? They have an easy, cool conversation. You ever notice that the guys that Miley goes out with, she always has real cool conversation as if they were like Issa, her good friend? That's how it was with the one from last season, and then that's how it was with old boy from earlier this season, and now here we have Quentin. That lets you know that Miley doesn't really like cool. She doesn't really like easy. She's kind of in that mode where we think that it has to be difficult, that it has to be hard. And I know because I used to have a little bit of this thinking as well. Like I used to like a little bit of dramatics and razzmatazz. You know, you just kind of felt like if it didn't have any sparks, then it was boring. It doesn't take until you get older. And it's not even really when you get older. It's when something kind of happens big enough for you to really open your eyes and realize that, you know what, I don't need this kind of drama in my life. And then as you get older, once you realize that and you get older, then like when you get to my age now, my whole thing is I just want peace. I don't want no dramatics. Listen, I want to get up. I want to go to work. I want to come home. I want to go out to eat, go to the movies. I want to go on vacation 1 or 2 times a year. And that's it. That's it. I don't want no extra dramatics. So Miley is in this place where she feels like easy is boring, and that can never be good for her. Baby, I got up on my psychology stand for y'all today. Okay, let me climb back down. So anyway, she goes to her counselor after that. She's back with the black lady. Okay, we're happy to see that. And she tells the counselor that Quentin is just not anybody that she could see herself with. She was just like, look, why don't you get out of the could and get with the should, okay? Drop a little Iyanla on that ass. Try it. Maybe you will enjoy it. Then while she's there, she gets a damn text from Dro talking about, I miss you. I was like... But we got to give it to Miley. She does try with Quentin. They're working late one night. He breaks out the Hennessy. She puts the Hennessy down and she kisses him. This is actually the first sex scene that we actually see start from the beginning. And no, there were no condoms involved. So all the other times that we've seen them having sex on the show, they're always already in the middle of it. So we don't really know if there were any condoms used or not. But this time it wasn't. Now, I don't see Miley getting pregnant, but girl. So they have sex. It seems to be cool enough. Nothing too interesting. That's what she tells Issa and Kelly when they get together to watch Due North. They're waiting for Tiffany to get there, but Tiffany calls and says that she's not going to make it. Well, where is Tiffany? Didn't Derek say that that's where she was going to be? Something is going on with Tiffany. Tiffany might still be seeing Mr. Fred. Okay, I'm feeling like next season we're probably going to hear quite a bit more about Tiffany and Derek's relationship. But anyway, Miley is telling Issa and Tiffany about, the sex that she's had with Quentin. And, it's just okay. She was making it seem like it was whack. No, it wasn't necessarily whack. It was fine. Okay, like I told you guys, there's no risk with Quentin. Miley is one of those ones who like to date people who are unavailable. That way she does not have to commit herself to something that may not work out. Professor psychology, y'all again. Anyway, the black office or the white office, which one are you gonna go with? Okay, Kelly always gives the perspective. Okay, you stick with the black firm and child, they be all in your business trying to get you baptized. You go with the white firm and then you gotta go all out of your way to try to make sure that they are comfortable with you being there. So Miley has a decision to make. But maybe Miley's decision will be helped along when she meets with her own bosses and they was like, listen, we heard you've been interviewing around and listen, we don't want to lose you. You're too valuable to us. Miley's feeling good, pumped up. Finally, they are realizing her worth. They was like, we're going to give you this Rising Star Award. And that means a lot in this litigational world. Miley is looking like, want no fucking award. I want some money. Next season, maybe Miley will be moving on to another law firm as well. We'll see. Next scene, we see her in the bed. Okay, we're assuming she was with Quentin because she's laughing, and she gets a call from Issa. And we're assuming Issa is in some sort of distress. Miley is just like, oh shit, what happened? So rewind the episode. Let's look at it from Issa's perspective. They are at the marathon. They all catch up with Kelly at the finish line, child. Kelly didn't get to make it past mile 9 because her period started. I was just like, this Kelly is something else. But, Tiffany, she is just like, it's fine though. I mean, look at you. You made it to mile 9, okay? A lot of us couldn't even do that. But, we all doing our thing, okay? She talks about the fact that she's pregnant. I said, with whose baby? Tiffany. Anyway, they about to be parents. Okay, Miley is interviewing, trying to find a new job. And Issa is... Wait a minute, Issa. I know something. Hold on. Issa is... It's cracking up. Issa was like, I'm moving. And they are just like, oh, you leaving the hood. Next scene, we see Issa at work. Okay, shit ain't going well for her there because she finally has to pay up. She admits it to her boss that she was ignoring the Latino children. And that because the rooms were so full with what we assume the black children, that she was having the Latino children come to the center. And the boss was just like, are you fucking crazy? Like, this could be a lawsuit. Can't have segregated classes and, no. I'm going to have to try to figure out what exactly is going to happen here, but this might cost you your field position. And then we find out that Frida gets the director of outreach position, which I figured it was going to either be Issa or Frida, but after that stunt, then it went on to Frida. And Issa was happy for her. You know what, girl, let's go out for drinks. So looks like Frida and Issa are going to be okay. Now, later on, when we see Issa and Kelly and Miley together, again, Tiffany is not there. But that's okay because the other two are going to help her pack to move. And then Kelly was like, where the fuck you going to go, girl? You ain't got no money. Okay, I mean, that's you moving way out West Covina, Lancaster. Okay, nobody really trying to do that. And, she was just like, I can afford to live somewhere. Maybe if she sells some stuff around the house, get her a little extra money. And Kelly was just like, you want to sell all this shit. So then we see her at her little garage sale out in front of the apartment building. Her damn brother is who she's going to be moving in with. And her brother is a pain in the ass. One of them ones that invite you to something, but then they didn't really want you to come, so they rude to your ass. You be like, what the fuck you asked me to come here for if you going to be... Neighborhood bae was like, damn, you moving, I'm gonna miss you. And I was using your Wi-Fi, but I really am gonna miss you. Okay, neighborhood bae's girlfriend is like, how much for this couch? Well, Issa can't let the couch go. All right, brings the couch back into the house, and later on that night, she calls Lawrence. We're assuming this is the time that Lawrence was having the argument with Aparna, and he doesn't answer, of course, but she leaves a message. Listen, the couch should be yours. I'm going to be moving. I'm not going to be in the apartment from such and such a time to such and such a time on Saturday. I won't be here. You can just come in here and get the couch. So when the day comes that she needs to do her last little walkthrough, her brother, he's super extra, okay, telling her that her friends can't use his shower. Why the fuck would my friends be using your damn shower? You are mad extra right now. But anyway, he takes her to the apartment and she walks in and there is Mr. Lawrence. This is the meeting after the real emotional and damaging argument that you have. Then you finally come to your senses and then you can have a logical and pretty calm conversation. That's where we are now. Okay, he asked her what happened to the ceiling and she's just like, I just kind of lost control, meaning really her whole life this season. Anyway, you waited for me, and he says, yes, I did. They both are honest with each other. Okay, shit is fucked up. He apologizes to her for kind of being stuck in the place that he was in and not being the man that she needed him to be and he needed himself to be. She apologizes for not being a stronger woman and supporting him more during the time that he was down. And she's sorry that she didn't do more to be supportive. The fact that she slept with Daniel, you know, he was like, you don't even have to talk about that, but she was just like, the fact that I slept with Daniel was probably the worst thing that I could have ever done to you. But, you know, she tells him that she only wants the best for him, that she loves him, and then he told her that he loved her. And I was just like, and all this time, I was just like, I don't want Issa and Lawrence to get back together, but I was just like, oh. You guys, I was so touched with that scene. You know, she gave him the hug, but it was just like too much fucking water under the bridge. He was just like, I'm gonna go now. And so she says, okay. And then when he walks to the door and he says, bye, Issa. And then all of a sudden he grabs her hand and I was just like, oh my God, this is a dream. This is a dream. But he was just like, you know, I can't live my life without you. You know, will you marry me? And she says yes. And then she looks at the camera and then you just see their life, how it could have been. I was just like, you guys are really fucking pulling on my heartstrings right now. You know, we see them, they get married, they're laying on their couch, you know, hand in hand. You know, we see them having sex and it's so passionate and loving filled. And then all of a sudden she's pregnant and he's kissing her stomach. And then we see them get home from, you know, being out for the day and he has a little baby boy and the little, you know, the little baby Bjorn. I don't know if that's what they call him still. That's what they called him when I had Joe and Jade a little like that. But just like, oh, everything that it could have been. And then of course the dream is over and then he's like, bye, Issa. And she was just like, bye. And I was just like, oh, so sad. Even though I don't want them to get back together, but I was just like, oh. So then we see Issa at Miley's house. Okay, the two best friends, the one that's been there for each other. Hell, they can't go to Morocco. Funds does not permit. However, Morocco can come to them. So Miley has this whole Moroccan tea and, you know, all of the pillows and the foods and everything. And, you know, Issa's just like, I'm so in love with you right now. They have a really good friendship. I love their relationship. Miley offers for her to stay there with her. And she was just like, nope, can't live with you, but thank you. But she spends the night and the next day when she leaves, we see her getting into her lift and she is going off, I'm assuming, to her brother's house. Okay, we also see Miley. She's getting ready, you know, putting on her lingerie. And I guess we was assuming that it was going to be with Quentin, but that would be too much like right. She gets all sexied up and walks to the door and opens it, and it's that fucking Dro. And you guys, when he sucked his lip like this, like, ooh, I was like, ugh, I hate when men leer like that. That is not sexy to me. I was just like, oh my God, Molly, really? That's going to be Dro all next season. Ah, I cannot believe that girl is going there. But anyway, back to Issa. While she's in the car, she gets a friend request from Lawrence. Okay, new beginnings. She smiles. Maybe they can be Facebook friends. Maybe they can be even more than friends. Isn't that what you want, Issa? Or is that? Okay, because she gets out of the lift and the neighborhood looks familiar. She walks to the door and it's fucking Daniel's door. I said, Issa, out of all the people. When Daniel opens the door, she's like, I'm sleeping on the couch. And he was just like, I know. And I was just like, with Molly and Issa, child, it's 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. All right, you guys, let me get off of here. Did you notice that I'm in the old studio? I decided to give you guys a little new, you know, a little new ambiance and a little new background. I don't feel like pulling my car out of the garage, so this car was already outside. So anyway, you guys, let me get off of here. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. Channel is for itsrox. God, this video is long. I'm gonna edit it down, you guys. Anyway, everything else I do be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. I plan on doing the same. Till next time, Roxstars. Bye.